This week on the Junction Report, Mississippi State fans continue to show support for the Bulldogs despite a 6-game losing streak.
Head coach Jeff Levy thanked the crowd for their strong support during his latest press conference. We'll hear from Coach Levy coming up.
Basketball season is just around the corner, and Junction reporter William McCurry has an update on the Junction Jam, a showcase of basketball skills from the new look team. Welcome to the Junction Report. I'm Tiara Tidwell.
And I'm Anthony Jenkins. We have a lot to get into this week, but first, we start with MSU football.
Mississippi State came up short to number 14 Texas A&M, falling 34-24 at Davis-Wade Stadium. True freshman quarterback Michael Van Buren Jr. made his first home start, throwing for 242 yards and 3 touchdowns. The Bulldogs outgained the Aggies in yardage, but it wasn't enough to secure the win. MSU struck first with a 14-yard touchdown pass from Van Buren to running back Devon Booth, who also led the team with 79 rushing yards. A&M answered, taking a 21-10 lead before Van Buren found Mario Craver for a 4-yard touchdown just before halftime.
The Aggies outscored State 10-0 in the third, but Van Buren's 12-yard touchdown pass to Kevin Coleman in the fourth made it 31-24. Texas A&M sealed the game with a 44-yard field goal late in the fourth. Coleman had 89 receiving yards, while Isaac Smith led MSU with 13 tackles. Mallory Morrow is in the newsroom with more.
The Bulldogs lost their 6th game in a row Saturday and fell to 1-6 on this season. Despite the loss, it was only a 10-point deficit, and the Bulldogs seemed to show more improvement each week. The Mississippi State Bulldogs were at home in Starkville this weekend to take on their 3rd straight ranked opponent in the Texas A&M Aggies. At the beginning of the season, MSU underperformed against weaker opponents, but the team has produced better results recently. Although the 34-24 loss against Texas A&M is one of those better results, it is still not a win. Head coach Jeff Levy says the team's improvement is important, but the bottom line is they need to figure out how to win games.
Again, we've gotten better. I don't think there's any doubt about that. I think we're starting to find a little bit of an identity at times. We've got to create more consistency. We've got to be able to go sustain. We've got to make the play that has the ability to change the outcome of the game. All right, and that is the stress. That's the strain. We're going to continue to get better. I want to continue to get better and win.
Despite the team's current losing record, MSU freshman quarterback Michael Van Buren gives a glimpse of hope for the future of this team. Against the Aggies, Van Buren threw for 242 yards and 3 touchdowns. Van Buren has similar feelings to Levy's about the team's improvement and wanting to win.
I feel like we made great progress, especially throughout each game that I've been playing. But the bottom line is we come here to win. We don't come, so we didn't get to do that.
The Mississippi State Bulldogs look to pick up their first SEC win of the season this Saturday against the Arkansas Razorbacks at Davis-Wade Stadium. Reporting for the Junction Report, I am Mallory Morrow. Saturday's game against the Razorbacks is set for an 11:45 a.m. kickoff. Back to Anthony and Tiara in the studio.
Mississippi State football is searching for a turnaround this weekend after a rough stretch.
The Bulldogs will try to end their losing streak with a win at home.
Mississippi State football has another chance to snap its losing streak this weekend. The Bulldogs are looking for a turnaround as they face a tough opponent at home. After 6 straight losses, Mississippi State, now 1-6 overall and 0-4 in SEC, is hoping to find some relief at Davis-Wade Stadium. The Bulldogs will host the Arkansas Razorbacks this Saturday. This matchup will be the first for State against a non-top 15 opponent since Week 4, offering a prime opportunity to regain momentum. Arkansas enters the game at 4-3 overall and 2-2 in the SEC, looking to bolster its season with an away win. The kickoff is set for 11:45 a.m. State fans are hoping for a much-needed win to bring back energy into the season. We'll see if the Bulldogs can turn things around this weekend and deliver a win for the home crowd.
Our appreciation for our fan base and for that stadium to be the way it was on Saturday with us going through the things that we're going through right now, to me, is incredibly special. It was special for our recruits, for them to be able to see a fan base create so much noise and be able to, show support for us at a time where things haven't been perfect by any stretch. So again, that'll be a big thing for us Saturday. We're going to have a beautiful day for it. We got a great SEC opponent coming to town, and we'll need a great environment.
The kickoff is set for 11:45 a.m. State fans are hoping for a much-needed win to bring energy back into the season. We'll see if the Bulldogs can turn things around this weekend and deliver a win for the home crowd.
Well, there was a huge battle in the SEC Saturday between the then number 5 ranked Georgia Bulldogs and the then ranked number 1 Texas Longhorns. The Longhorns came into the matchup undefeated but would not leave that way. So let's head to Austin, Texas. The Bulldogs get the scoring started with this 2-yard TD run by Trevor Etienne. Second quarter, the Bulldogs add more points to the board. Trevor Etienne stretching and reaching for another score. Back from the half, 23-0. The Longhorns have yet to score any points, but they changed that here with this pass from Quinn Ewers to Isaiah Bond to finally put them on the board. The Longhorns go for 2 after that. TD Ewers goes right back to Bond for the successful conversion. Nearing the end of the third quarter, Texas trying to lessen their deficit. Ewers throws a dart to Jadon Blue, and he runs it in untouched for the score. Fourth quarter, Georgia looking to add to their lead. Etienne again punches it in for another score. He scored all of Georgia's touchdowns in this game. Wow. Nearing the end of the fourth, Texas trying to give themselves something to feel good about. Ewers throws, but it's incomplete. Texas loses their first game of the season. Final score, Georgia 30, Texas 15.
Let's head to another SEC marquee matchup that happened in Knoxville, Tennessee. Let's hop right into these highlights. With former number 7 Alabama going against the former number ranked 11 Tennessee Volunteers. The Crimson Tide will answer first in the ball game with this snag from 17-year-old Ryan Williamson. Tierra, like I said, 17 years old.
Wow.
Handling this game. The Vols, though, back with the ball. Nico Lamahi-Hava rolling out and throws a dime on the run to Dante Thornton Jr., and he gets tackled near the goal line. They would score on this drive, giving them the lead. Alabama trying to get that lead back, and would indeed with this rushing touchdown from Justice Haynes. Tennessee, though, back with the ball in the red zone. E.A. Lamahi-Hava throwing it right in the bucket to receiver Chris Brazal II. Late in the fourth, though, Jalen Milroe trying to tie it up and maybe win the game, but the Tennessee defense would get an interception from Will Brooks, and that would seal the deal, securing the win for the Volunteers with a final score 24-17.
Now let's head to Memorial Stadium in Columbia, Missouri for a battle of the Tigers. The Auburn Tigers taking on the Missouri Tigers. Auburn gets in on the TD action first. Quarterback Peyton Thorne, plenty of time, slings it deep to Cam Coleman. And he catches it, runs it in, and he's feeling it, doing a little dance at the end right there. Third quarter, and Auburn is punting the ball to Missouri. Oscar Chapman kicking it off, and look at this. Luther Burton III planning to return it, but he doesn't secure the ball.
Gotta catch the
Ball is loose. Auburn recovers it in the end zone for a touchdown. Third quarter winding down, Missouri quarterback Brady Cook looking to throw, and he slings it over the middle to Mookie Cooper. He turns on the Jets for a huge game, but is tackled at the 2-yard line. But that does set up this TD run by Marcus Carroll. They go for 2. After that TD, Cook fakes the pitch, keeps, and runs it in for the conversion. Fourth quarter winding down, 17-14. Missouri looking to take the lead and the win. Cook hands it off to Jamal Roberts. He runs it in for the score. Auburn got the ball back, but couldn't do anything with it. Final score, Missouri 21, Auburn 17.
Let's get into some Big Ten action as Michigan went up against Illinois. This was a pretty physical matchup between the two teams as we see Illinois running back Aiden Laffery with the HB draw. He would gain tons of yards on the play going out of bounds. Michigan trying to show off their running game, but Donovan Edwards would get boomsticked on and fumble the ball as Illinois will recover it. Michigan would eventually score though. But yo, look at this tackle. Great tackle from 21. They would strip it. But Michigan would eventually score though with this touchdown from Khalil Mullins. Since Halloween is coming up, look at this trickery from Illinois. The fake punt, making him go all the way to around the 20-yard line. They would seal the deal with this QB sneak from Starkville's own Luke Altmaier. Illinois would beat the defending college football champions with a final score 21-7.
Let's head to Provo, Utah. The Oklahoma State Cowboys taking on the BYU Cougars. BYU gets the first points of the game on this quarterback keep by Jake Retzlaff. Oklahoma State looking to respond. Quarterback Garrett Rangel hands it off to Ollie Gordon II. He breaks a couple tackles and he takes it 50 yards to the house. The Cowboys looking to add points to the board before the half, and they do. Gordon gets another touchdown to give his team the lead at the half. Third quarter, BYU looking to tie things up, and they do just that. Retzlaff handed it off to L.J. Martin, and he runs it in for 6. Fourth quarter, winding down, and the Cowboys are looking to take back the lead. Quarterback Alan Bowman throws it to Brennan Presley, and he runs it in for the score. 20 seconds left, 2nd and 10. BYU looking to win. Retzlaff slings it to Darius Lassiter. He breaks a tackle, dodges a few more, and runs it in for the win. BYU keeps their undefeated streak alive. Final score, BYU 38, Oklahoma State 35.
Let's head to Louisville, Kentucky as the Cardinals went up against the Hurricanes. Louisville would score first of the ball game with running back Isaac Brown running past the entire Hurricane defense to score the touchdown. But Miami quarterback Cam Ward trying to make something happen, rolling outside the pocket. And he would throw a dot right to Jacoby George, making it 10-7. But let's speed up to the fourth quarter as Louisville would try to tie it up with this swing passing touchdown from Duke Watson, tying it up 38-38. Miami, though, will respond. Okay, he's showing off his dance. But Miami, though, will respond as Damian Martinez trucking defenders from Louisville, and he will muscle his way right into the end zone, right into a W. The Hurricanes would avoid an upset, beating Louisville with a final score of 52-45.
The third-ranked Mississippi State Bulldogs continue to dominate, beating Ole Miss 2-0 to claim their 5th straight Magnolia Cup. With the win, MSU extends its 10-game winning streak and ties the program record for most victories in a season. Sophomore forward Zoe Main scored just over a minute into the match, giving State an early lead. Main added another goal late, assisted by Atana Martinez Montoya. Goalkeeper Maddie Anderson led a tough defense, recording her 12th shutout. The Bulldogs' next match is at South Carolina on October 30th.
We are a couple weeks away from the start of college basketball season. When we come back from break, we will break down the men's and women's team as they prep for a new season.
Discovery. It tells our history and determines our future. At Mississippi State University, we're digging deep, unlocking an understanding of our past, validating it. Middle East exploration by faculty and students is uncovering evidence that unravels ancient mysteries. Scholars have long thought of the biblical kings David and Solomon as mythological figures. Our research offers evidence that supports their existence, boosting MSU into an international league of experts on archaeology. Now we're changing the way people think about the past, opening up new possibilities of understanding for future generations. Digging deeper, learning more. When it comes to making the world a better place, it's all in the numbers at Mississippi State University. Our big data science researchers are creating astonishing new algorithms to model human behavior and consumer activity to identify anomalous purchasing patterns. Interpreting the data creates heat maps that can signal fraudulent activity and even predict likely cybercrime locations and perpetrators. And as the only academic institution to team with a state-level DHS agency in the study of transactional data of the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, MSU is helping prevent misuse while ensuring that benefits are being used as intended. These successes are opening doors for similar research partnerships with banking, insurance, credit card, and other data-intensive industries, leading to consumer confidence in online and other transactions. Making numbers count. Mississippi State University.
Welcome back to the Junction Report. So our Mississippi State men's basketball team is ready for a stronger season under head coach Chris Jans.
And with returning stars and new additions, here's what to expect from the Bulldogs this year. Matt Inman has more.
After a first-round exit in last year's NCAA tournament, Mississippi State men's basketball head coach Chris Jans is focused on a stronger season. The Bulldogs finished 21-14 overall and 8-10 in SEC play, with big wins over top 10 teams like Tennessee and Auburn. Returning standouts include guard Josh Hubbard, who averaged 17 points as a freshman, and forward Cameron Matthews, known for his defense. Adding firepower from the transfer portal are Claudell Harris Jr. from Boston College and Kanye Clary from Penn State. With veterans, transfers, and a strong recruiting class, Jan's motto this year is clear: Mississippi State versus everyone. They will try to allow everyone in the state to see the team in person playing home games this year away from the hump. Jans talked about why the team is playing games in Tupelo, Jackson, and South Haven, Mississippi.
Yeah, it's been a priority for us since we've arrived. We've played games within our state, not in Humphrey Coliseum, in all 3 years that I've been the head coach here. And certainly it's been for a variety of reasons. You mentioned, a main reason was to be able to bring the games to them, if you will, not have them to have to travel to us so much. And that's been a big reason why we've been able to do that, or made the decision to do that. But at the same time, there's other factors.
Mississippi State will open their season at the hump in November 4th against West Georgia. Reporting for the Junction, I'm Matthew Inman.
Thank you, Matt. We are 2 weeks away from the opening tip-off for our MSU women's basketball team against the Memphis Tigers. Ahead of the game, the men's and women's team had a little junction jam this past Friday.
Head coach Sam Purcell met with media the day before, and Junction reporter William McCurry has more from the press conference.
There has been a lot of noise made about the youngest addition to the coaching staff, Victoria Vivios. Understandable, as she's a WNBA player and MSU alumni taking another role on the hardwood, trading in her Jordans and shooting sleeve for a pantsuit and clipboard. While the assistant coach will hopefully make an impact in her first season in a coaching role for the Bulldogs, there are 3 more additions to the coaching staff that make head coach Sam Purcell very confident about the upcoming season.
I was able to hire 3 former head coaches, and first and foremost from Fred Castro, who I have a long friendship that I've known over 20 years. He's a brilliant mind, but most importantly, he's a great teacher.
Castro is serving as the offensive coordinator for the Bulldogs, marking the X's and O's. And the recruiting coordinator for the team has also been working all summer bringing new names to Mississippi State, but also enthusiasm to the locker room.
I was able to hire Anita Howard, another former head coach who has an energy, a love, and a passion for the game that you know it when you meet her right away.
With Castro and Howard, that is 2 former head coaches assisting this season. But in April of this year, opportunity was there to add another.
It's my day one, and Samantha Williams. We started in this business 20 years ago at Auburn. All right, we worked together and we competed together for Final Fours and national championships at Louisville. And then obviously she was at Tennessee last year, and the opportunity for her to come on my staff this year. She understands what it takes to win in the SEC, but most importantly, she's a winner.
Sam Purcell says with 3 former head coaches, he will be a better head coach with his assistants understanding the small things are big things and taking them off his plate. With the Junction Report, I am William McCurry.
Opening tip-off is November 7th at 6 p.m. Tickets are still available.
After the break, we will come back and see who our Cody Rigdon put in the Dawg House.
The sense of place. We all have it. Often grown from deep roots in small-town communities. At Mississippi State University, our Carl Small Town Center is strengthening these ties. With nearly 40 years of making a difference, we're revitalizing communities into welcoming places to work, live, and congregate. By weaving together the best pieces of our past with modern technology and amenities, we're creating the hometowns of the future. Places where lifetime memories can be made, where you have all the things you need, along with all the things you want. Through partnerships with our communities, we're identifying improvement opportunities, recommending paths forward, and creating the plans for a better tomorrow.
Welcome back to the Junction Report.
So Tierra, it's about that time we get to see who is getting put in the Dawg House this week, as our Cody Rigdon has more.
Hello everyone, and welcome to this week's segment of In the Dawg House. My name is Cody Rigdon, and this week I'm putting Texas fans and Tennessee fans in the Dawg House. I'm dubbing this week Fan Week. Let's start off with Texas fans. I know everyone by now knows about how these fans got a penalty called off by throwing trash on the field. I think a part of any sport is sometimes a bad call gets made, but to have the ability to throw enough trash the refs change their mind is nuts. As a Saints fan, I wish we knew this technique back during the Nolan no call.
Hey everybody, let's throw peanuts at him and see how he likes it.
I get what I deserve.
Another fan base I like to talk about is Tennessee. People don't want to admit it, but Alabama just isn't the team they used to be. There's barely any difference in rank, and for some reason, y'all still went and tore down the goalpost. Why? Isn't that supposed to be for, like, big games or upsets? This game was neither of those. Tennessee fans just wanted to waste money that could have been used for something productive.
Push! Push!
This week, Deshaun Watson haters got their happy ending as Watson picked up an injury in his game against the Bengals. Browns fans nearly missed the Dawg House this week when they booed their own quarterback off the field and potentially into the big house.
I'm going to jail!
Thank you, everyone, for joining us in this week's segment of In the Dawg House. Row, row, row.
At Mississippi State University, student-led teams are taking one of the country's biggest health issues to heart. Out to unravel one of science's unsolved mysteries, researchers in MSU's Department of Agriculture and Biological Engineering are asking why and when healthy cells in human arteries can begin changing into bone-like structures that hamper blood flow. This calcification contributes to strokes and heart attacks, two leading causes of death in Mississippi. As part of their groundbreaking research, students are designing a 3D model that allows them to understand how arteries act within the body and what changes them. By recreating what is happening at the cellular level, researchers are pursuing ways to stop and reverse the process of calcification. Testing treatments could lead to new solutions, helping reduce the number of people struggling with the effects of poor heart health, and ultimately saving lives. Mississippi State University, getting to the heart of better health for Mississippians.
And welcome back to the Junction Report. We are here at the final 4 minutes. My name is Kelsey Daly.
And I'm Justin Gladwell.
And I'm Dylan Flippo.
And we're here to talk all things sports. So Justin, I want to start off with you first, and I have a very serious question to ask you. So I've been looking at the Dallas Cowboys lately, and it's given maybe Dak Prescott may be the problem, but I just want to hear from both of y'all. But I'm going to start off with you first, Justin. Do you think Dak Prescott is the problem at the Dallas Cowboys?
No, I do not. I feel like Dak has been a great quarterback in this league for a long time, and I feel like he's established who he is and how he is as a football player. And I feel like it's an issue with the running backs that they have in Dallas. I think that if they could have a better running back, I think they'd have a lot better chances. I just feel like that with Ezekiel Elliott being the number 1 running back in Dallas, I feel like they can really key in on Dak Prescott and his number 1 target, CeeDee Lamb. So I feel like Jerry Jones should step out and grab up a better running back, maybe trade for one or sign a rookie or something, but Ezekiel Elliott just doesn't have it anymore in my book.
Dylan, what you think about that?
Well, the issue with that is that Dak has become one of the most inconsistent quarterbacks in the league. 1-6 in the playoffs, very imprecise, and he totally shrinks under pressure. I mean, we go back to Dak is one of the highest paid quarterbacks in the NFL. Well, if you're one of the highest paid quarterbacks in the NFL, why don't you go to the owners themselves? Why don't you address those issues that is happening in the running back room, it's happening in the wide receiving corps? But instead, we're just going to sit back, we're going to make our money. No, Dak, come on. You've got to be a leader for this team. You've got to be a leader for the Cowboys. If you're wanting to have success, you've got to step up as a leader. You can't just sit back and watch all these problems that we're talking about happen. You can't.
I just feel like it's not Dak's job to go and pick up, his guys. I feel like that Jerry should find him some weapons. I put all the blame on Jerry, and then it's a sorry running back room. I mean, you just can't have a sorry running back room and win big football games. You have to have those weapons. You have to have a good running game and a good passing game. You can't just expect a great passing game every single game.
Well, the problem in the last 8 years is Dak has had the talent around him to make this work. He's had one of the top offensive lines in the last few years. He's had wide receivers around him that are excellent targets to throw to. He's had running backs that can get it done. But again, 1-6 in the playoffs. It goes back to the success. He's not been successful. He's been inconsistent. And as a leader of the team, you got to address those issues.
I mean, I feel like it's when it comes down to the playoffs, I feel like coaches have to step in there as well. I mean, it's your quarterback's a leader, but your quarterback's not, who calls the plays and everything. So that's where I stand on that.
Yeah, well, we'll have to see with this season with Dak and the Cowboys. We wish him the best of luck. Now let's go into the SEC championship lineup. Now, you guys, I know that y'all been talking lately about who y'all think will win the SEC championship. So, Dylan, I want to start off with this with you. Who do you think will be our new SEC champions?
I don't even think it's a question. I think it's the Georgia Bulldogs. You saw what they did this weekend to Texas on Texas's home turf at night. Nice little welcome to the SEC. Texas's first game besides Mississippi State against a very powerful Georgia team, and they brought it to the Longhorns. And I think Georgia has the talent, and they also had the head coach in Kirby Smart to lead them all the way. I don't think there's another team in the SEC that can do what Georgia can do.
Justin?
I have to strongly disagree with you right there. I feel like Carson Beck doesn't have what it takes to win extremely big football games. I think he's an okay QB, but I think that you have to have a star QB to win the SEC, and I feel like Texas has that. I feel like Texas has 2 star quarterbacks that either one of them can win the SEC. I also like the skill players they have around them, and I feel like Texas has what it takes.
I guess we're going to see, but I feel like Georgia definitely has the talent to make it all the way. Georgia, again, just smoked Texas on their home field, so I don't think it's an argument that Georgia's the best team in the SEC at the moment.
All right, well, that's all the time that we have today. I'm going to sign off with Maroon and White. We'll see you guys next time here at the Junction Report.